We're doing our best here to overcome every challenge thrown at us. For those of you that are able to quickly find us, we're back. Charlie Kim from Team Gilboa is on course.
Go on, Mark.
Mark Dry now on course up above. Charlie Kim just skied through the finish. Mark had a great day yesterday in the Super G. Carving up some nice turns down here. Charlie Kim just skied into the top 10. A good run for the Team Gilboa racer with a 47.03. That's Mark Dry approaching the finish. Van Doms. Van Doms has just left the start. Van approaches the lower part now. It was Mark into 8th position with a 46.35. Two-run race today. We've got a second run coming up this afternoon. So the racers need to put down 2 solid runs. Jonathan Nichols from Steamboat has just left the starting gate. Here comes SWAT team's Van Doms approaching the finish. Into his tuck and across the line. Here comes Jonathan Nichols now onto the lower section. Doms through the finish with a 50.57. Griffin Green Machine Griff. Wickstrom has just left the starting gate. Jonathan Nichols approaching the bottom part. Nichols skiing well through that lower section. He knows this hill well. It's his home hill. Nichols through the finish. Griffin Green Machine Wickstrom on the upper part of the course. Nichols with a nice run. 8th fastest. 46.32 for Jonathan. Griffin Green Machine Wickstrom now on course onto the lower part. Charlie Haskins has left the starting gate. Here comes Griffin Green Machine Wickstrom. Tucking his way across the line. Charlie Haskins carries some good speed. Charlie had a good downhill race 2 days ago. Griffin through the finish with a 47.90. Here comes Haskins from Eldora approaching the finish on the lower pitch. Everett Lavander from Team Afton has left the start. Haskins creating nice angles, a big, strong racer. As Charlie Haskins goes to the tuck. Reaches to the line and across. Lavander now approaching Coach's Knoll. Haskins with a 47.47 moves him into 16th. Everett Lavander from Team Afton on the lower part of the course. Luke Myonger, his teammate, has just left the starting gate. Here comes Lavander. He's across. Lavander with a time of 48.43. Luke Myonger now on the lower pitch. Kevin Kubit has just left the starting gate. Myonger now from Team Afton, trying to put down a good fast run. Set himself up for run number 2. Myonger across. As Kevin Kubit skis into view up above, running the low line is Kubit. Kid loves to charge. Myonger across with a good time, 46.85, has him in 11th position. It's a 2-run combined time race today. You see the high-speed slip crew behind Kubit, a cool effect. As Kevin Kubit from the SWAT team makes his way down through the finish. It's going to be Roman Zadvornik right now on course who's going to benefit from that low line slip that followed Kubit. Kubit had a time of 48.19. Now it's Roman Zadvornik from Team Summit. Putting the hammer down. Roman really getting after it down here on the lower section. Working the ski. There's no static skiing from Zadvornik. It's dynamic. It's active. It's aggressive. Roman Zadvornik to the finish. And he's across as Ronan Curran takes his turn. Zadvornik into the top 10 with a 46.39. Curran from Aspen now onto the lower pitch. Iker Koig has just left the start gate. Getting that turn done above the gate. Good shape, good depth to his turns for Curran. As he crosses the finish. Ronan Curran. Curran at a time of 48.32. Now it's Iker Koig's turn. He's from Team Summit onto the lower pitch. Shen Harmon has just left the starting gate. Koig letting those skis run to the finish. And Iker will cross. Shen Harmon onto the midsection flats. Koig with a 47.43. Puts him in 18th position at the moment. Shen Harmon now from Aspen. A couple double pole plants to set up the lower pitch. That's classical skiing as Cody Martz-Fej gets ready to go up top, and he is on course. Shen Harmon from Aspen. Into his tuck across the finish. Martz-Fej now already past the coaches onto the lower pitch. Harmon with a time of 48.48. Pocket Pinturo here looking to make some strong GS turns on the hill today. Pinturo's a good guy to emulate. He can do all four disciplines, and Martz-Fej is doing his best here today. Cody goes to the tuck right before the finish, and he's across with a good time of 48.05. William Mortel now on course. Mortel from Team Gilboa, and down on his side goes Martel. Tough break for him. Owen Black now on course from Osblick. Oh, and down goes Black. All of a sudden, carnage on the race hill. Two racers down consecutively. Finn Mulligan's going to try to end that streak. That's not the kind of streak we like to see. But he's going to have to wait a few moments as we clean things up after those two racers. Finn Mulligan from Team Afton will be our next racer. So Finn's going to get the benefit of some slippers out in front of him.
Yeah, I'll wait till the end of the run here. Copy, I'll have her. 3-9 on the next interval, 25 seconds.
So Finn Mulligan getting ready to go here in just a few moments. If you found your way to this new link, share it with your friends. Got cut off from our initial link. Had to make a new one, so you're the lucky ones if you're here with us. Because the racing action is definitely not to be missed. That's Finn Mulligan from Team Afton. Just coaches Noel and down onto the lower pitch for Finn. Mulligans across, Oliver Nast behind him, Aspen Racer. Nast has had some fast runs so far this week. Found himself in the top 10 a couple times. Mulligan through with a 49.23. Here comes Nast to the finish line. Liam Burns will follow him. From Aspen to Afton we go with Burns. Nast through with a 47.82. These racers in the 40s will get the good start for run number 2 as we run in reverse order. Oh, and Burns pinching a gate off and getting twisted sideways. That was a costly error for the Team Afton racer. But he's back on track, approaching the finish. Liam Burns to the line. Now we watch Soren Shepard up above. Burns with a 48.46. As Soren Shepard goes down on his side. Soren, oh no. So frustrated. It's going to be a DNF after a long slide for Soren Shepard. He's still going. Shows you how steep the hill is down there. Mason Katzfuss from Osblick now on the upper part of the course. Soren Shepard finally done sliding as Katzfuss makes his way down the pitch on his feet. Cole Peltz has just left the start gate. Katzfuss from Osblick making some nice quick turns down on the lower section. The Osblick racer letting those skis run down to the line. Katzfuss crosses. We watch Cole Peltz running the low line, coming onto the lower pitch. He's held it together. Katzfuss with a 49 flat. Cole Peltz, our downhill champion, losing a ski yesterday in the Super G right in this spot. Let's keep the weight over the outside ski. Keep those skis on today. Cole Peltz is doing that, letting the skis run. His teammate Brexton Hopke's in the top spot. Cole Peltz crosses with a 46.62 in 11th. Marius Somé now on course. Marius racing for Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. Nice tempo to Marius' skiing. He's got a nice touch on the snow. Super helpful skiing. It's super smooth. Somé to the tuck and Somé to the finish reaching across. And Marius has a time of 47.30 into 18th position. Again, these racers with the clean track in run number 2 could make a big move in the afternoon run. Both run times get combined for their result as we watch Bryce Monty now on the upper section. Bryce, one that could make something special happen here today. Skiing the rut, doing a nice job on the upper part of the course. Now he passes the coaches onto the lower section. Again, these guys just need to get themselves into the hunt, then take advantage of the good snow they have for run number 2. It's held up well, but it'll be even better on that second run for these racers as Bryce Monty crosses with a 47.76. Cut his bib number in half. 23rd is the ranking. And now we've got Ryder Roth up next from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. Charge into that first gate already. Ryder Roth is feeling it here in the giant slalom, but going little twisted there. As he comes onto the flats now, it's got to be clean. No errors through this part. Roth getting a little bit in the back seat. Stays patient. No panic. Onto the lower pitch comes Roth. He was just off the podium yesterday in 4th. And he put something special down the hill today. The Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racer. He's letting the skis run. Roth in his tuck. To the line he goes. And Ryder Roth threw into 15th, 47.01 the time. To make it exciting for run number 2. All right, here comes Jackson Tankersley from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. Tankersley bringing up the rear for run number 1. He'll get to start first in run number 2. Here comes Tankersley. Good skiing down here from Tankersley. Past the coaches onto the lower pitch. Jackson Tankersley skiing strong. Running direct is Tankersley, getting a little bit perhaps not quite patient enough. Not the depth to his turns that allows him to generate speed from turn to turn. He's running a direct line. And Tankersley to the finish and across with a 48.10 as that wraps things up for run number 1 for the boys and the girls. So that wraps up our first run. We'll get you an update on start time for run number 2 and try to get everybody over to the site. But thanks for watching, and we'll be back after a course reset and run number 2 here in Steamboat Springs for the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Rocky Central U16 Championships Giant Slalom.
The Winter Sports Club is amazing. It is multi-sports, and it's the only club in the entire country that has as many winter sports as we're able to provide.
I feel like when you ask our kids about their life in Steamboat, their first thing they'll say is, we grew up in the Winter Sports Club.
It's sort of like a second family for me.
The Winter Sports Club, I think, was my upbringing.
I think Halcyon and the Winter Sports Club is one of the best places in the world.
It was almost another parent to me. We spent every opportunity we had down at the Winter Sports Club and enjoyed every minute of it.
Coming here after school and being with your friends and your coaches, it's just an awesome experience.
Almost every huge lesson or experience or great moment that has changed them has happened through the Winter Sports Club.
You know, their notion of creating champions on and off the mountain really resonates with me, and I just think it's an incredible opportunity for the boys to be part of that.
There you go.
Every coach that I've ever worked with, you know, here at Winter Sports Club or see coaches on hill with these kids, from skiing to cross country to jumping to snowboarding coaches, every single one of them brings a large amount of passion and dedication to this sport.
And the culture that they become a part of, again, changes them. And whether or not they're winning or whether or not they want to be an Olympian, they can be the best version of themselves.
We're so fortunate in this town to have so many amazing people help raise these kids.
There's something to be said about growing up in a competitive environment and having the mentors that the SSWSC provided. And you know, I certainly don't think that I would have grown up to be the person that I am today without their influence on my life.
It's so unique and so special, and having seen great places in the world, there's nothing like this.
Really, the Winter Sports Club is appropriate for all kids. Every single kid can benefit from the Winter Sports Club.
All right, we're getting ready to roll. Run number 2 for the women's giant slalom here at the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Rocky Central U16 Championships, presented by David Baldinger Jr., Steamboat Sotheby's International Realty. An exciting first run for the women. Count down the top 5. Eloise Spranger in 5th. Claire Preventure from Buck Hill in 4th. Isabel Erickson from Aspen in 3rd. Winter Phillips from Vail in 2nd. And Malie Dieterich from Team Summit in the lead after run number 1. Her lead about 3/4 of a second as we go into run 1. But she was one of the early starters on run 1, which means she'll run near the end for this second run. We'll run in reverse order of our first run start. So somebody like Caroline Christoph Brown, who's in 6th place, but started 38th and will be starting within the top 20 on the second run. Perhaps they will be in a position to make something happen here in run number 2. Claire Preventure in that 4th place position. She also running in the top half on the second run. So she'll be one to watch as the racers get ready. Our forerunners will start things off. The forerunners taking a look at the course for us here today. Trying to make sure that everything is in good shape. Make sure that our timing is working, that the course officials are prepared for the upcoming racers, and that our video is set up properly, which today has been a big challenge. Appreciate everybody's patience as we navigated our challenges of the morning. Foreigners also give us the first view of the new race course. Our forerunners getting ready to go. All right, there we go with our bottom camera. Forerunner number 2 on course. Our first racer is in the start. Julia Fingston. So Julia awaits word that the course is clear for her to go. Julia, a member of the 4 Degrees ski team, coached by Pete Jones and Ty Letourneau. They're at 4 Degrees. The 4 Degrees team spans across the state of Minnesota. Julia hails from Forest Lake. Just up north of the Twin Cities. Julia looks up to Isaiah Nelson as her skiing hero because he's an amazing ski racer and is really close in his faith. Isaiah had a really good run going today in Kranjska Gora in the World Cup. Had some good splits up at the top before he ultimately went out on the lower part of the course. Let's get Julia all the way through the finish, though. She was 49th in the first run, looking to pick up a few spots here in the second run with some good racing on a clean course. Julia Fingston loves to crochet. She's got some free time, which during the ski season isn't that much. And in the off season for skiing, she's busy with track and busy with soccer. So I don't know how much time there is to crochet for Julia, but she's making nice work of this giant slalom course as she approaches the finish. And Julia Fingston's going to set the pace on run number 2. As Iris Wolter from Team Gilboa takes her turn. Fingston with a time of 54:07. 2-run combined time 147.41. Puts her in first place at the moment. Iris Wolter from Team Gilboa now on the lower section of the course. Does her training at Highland Hills in Bloomington, Minnesota. I like the nice direct line down here from Iris. She's really letting those skis run, taking advantage of the fact that she's got the good, clean course as Kate Hostetler from Granite Peak pushes out of the start. Now onto the beach section. Iris Wolter into the lead with a 50.58 on her second run. 140.32. As she enjoys a few moments in the top spot down there at the bottom. See if she can hold off the charge from Kate Hostetler now from Granite Peak. Kate carving up some nice turns. Getting a little bit low right before the finish, but now in her tuck, and she's through. Layla Martinez on the upper part of the course. Hostetler through in second position at the moment. Her second run, 54.13. Here comes Layla Martinez onto the lower part of the course. Layla from Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Nice round line through that delay. Getting pushed wide, coming out. She looked to straighten it out to the finish. She drops into her tuck, and Layla Martinez crossing the finish. Emmy Riggs now from Winter Park on the upper section, making the transition onto the beach, the flat part in the middle of the course. This course looks like it has good flow, some good technical turns. Overall, a really nice course set. The athlete should be having a lot of fun. It's such a beautiful day. As Layla Martinez goes into second with a 50.77 on her second run. Iris Wolter still holding the lead, but Emmy Riggs right there close with Iris after the first run is going to put it. It's going to make it tight as she approaches the finish. Emmy Riggs from Winter Park through the finish. And Sydney Kuhl now, a fast one from Great Lakes Ski Academy, makes her way onto the flats. Carrying her speed, we saw her go to the tuck early. Emmy Riggs skis into the lead with a 49.42. Winter Park racer holds the top spot here at these Rocky Central U16 championships. But Sydney Kuhl from the Great Lakes Ski Academy out of Marquette, Michigan, putting a charge on the hill right now, really getting after it. That attacking attitude, we saw it in the Super G, and man, was she fast. Sydney Kuhl in the giant slalom here, getting to the finish as Isabel Calhoun Lopez skis off the upper pitch and onto the beach. Sydney Kuhl into the lead, her second run time, 49.23. That's the fastest run too, and she's the leader at this point. Isabel Calhoun Lopez from Team Afton. Now onto the lower section. Beautiful Colorado Bluebird day. The contrast between the blue skies and the spray of snow off these racers' skis as they transition onto the lower pitch is a sight to behold. As Isabel Calhoun Lopez reaches for her tuck. Across the finish comes Lopez Calhoun. And Calhoun Lopez, and she's got a time on run number 2 of 50.70. Into the fifth spot. Now it's Kinsley Oberding's turn. Looking to get Kinsley through the finish. She went out on that first run early. The bright orange helmet showing nice contrast with the white snow beneath her. Beautiful conditions for ski racing here today on the all-out race slope at Steamboat Resort. And Kinsley Oberding from Buck Hill through the finish. Ava Summers from Aspen on the upper part of the course. Kinsley had a 49.86, third fastest on that second run so far. Ava Summers now from Aspen looking to make a charge. She was 33rd in that first run. So right in the mix with our current leaders after run number 1. Getting pushed a little bit wide though. That section, the steepest part of the hill. I'm so happy the course set got far to the skiers' right in that section. It's the steepest part. It's a fun part of the hill. Challenges the skiers technically. And through the finish, that was Ava Summers into third with a 49.48 on run number 2. This is Shay Reardon from Team Afton now on course. Amy Derner was a did not start, unfortunately. To see Amy back in the slalom. But Shay Reardon now from Team Afton, skiing a nice run, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the nice clean track from an early start position. And Reardon through the finish. Kalia Lutz-Saladin flying down the upper pitch and onto the flats. The Aspen racer, definitely one to watch, as Reardon finishes in 6th with a 50.89. Lutz-Saladin is definitely one that's looking to take advantage of the better start position here in run number 2. Random seating, the idea behind this is that the athletes, when they hit the World Cup, the best skiers start at the front and the worst skiers start at the back, and it really is hard as you're developing to make your way up through the field. It's super challenging. At this level, knowing that the racers have that ahead of them, we make sure that all the racers, whether they're the fastest or slowest, get a chance to run in the front of the pack, in the back of the pack when it's ruddy and beat up. Whatever it takes to get them prepared for what's ahead as they become FIS racers, as they turn 16 years old. Some of these athletes have already had their 16th birthday here in 2026. Next year, those athletes will be FIS racers on the FIS circuit. Kalea Lutz-Saladin, she crossed the finish, second fastest on run number 2, but taking the lead overall. Her time 49.38 on run number 2 as Stella Phillips makes her way to the line. In the tuck and across she goes. Riley Thompson from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club, already getting to the coaches. She's flying up top. We've got longer intervals, but we can't get the cameras over fast enough to Riley. Must be skiing really well. Stella through the finish with a 55.50. Here comes Riley, charging hard. Riley 13th after that first run. A good run here puts her into the top 10. Riley Thompson from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club in her tuck and across the line. Riley Thompson. She's followed by Sophie Kozicki. Riley moves into the lead with a 47.86, fastest time on run number 1. And Riley moves into the lead overall by 2.5 seconds. A great run for the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racer. Sophie Kozicki now from the Loveland Ski Club onto the lower section. Making good, strong turns. Now letting the skis run a little bit lower. The hill very steep in that part, and then you've got the delay to help recover your line. Kozicki, it's a good job tactically for her as she makes her way into her tuck down towards the finish. Sophie Kozicki from the Loveland Ski Club is across. And Marlo Preventure from Buck Hill makes her way. Oh, and down goes Preventure. Man, oh man. Marlo. Ah, tough break. Marlo's gone down on both runs here in the giant slalom. Kozicki finished earlier, 50.91 her time. But Marlo Preventure, she's going to have to dust off those slalom skis and be ready to rock and roll, which I know she can. The slalom race tomorrow. The GS was not her day in the giant slalom today. But I know there are good things ahead for Marlo in that slalom. We've got Catherine Floyd now in the start, getting ready to go. She's out of Mazané, Wisconsin. Mazané. Ron Lawrence and Patrick Floyd, her coaches. And Catherine Floyd is on course with the big nationwide, worldwide audience watching. Catherine Just want to let everybody know her sponsors are her parents, and she is in the market to pick up some others. Floyd skiing well. She's had a good junior championship so far, and this is a good run for Floyd. She was 15th fastest after that first run. She's definitely one that can punch it into the top 10 with a good clean run on run number 2. Starting earlier in the pack, the track will be a little bit smoother for her, but she gets pushed a little low. That part of the hill is so steep. Now it starts to flatten out. A bit more room for the athletes. They can get a bit of a breather. But Floyd into her tuck early, really getting after it. And Catherine Floyd through the finish as Alessandra Loro skis down the upper pitch. It's going to be a time for Floyd into second position, 49.69, and down goes Loro. Oh my goodness. That section causing these girls some trouble. So our next racer right behind is Ella Timon. Ella Timon out of Granite Peak. Ella likes putting the hammer down, really letting those skis run, getting after it. Good smooth skiing for Timon. You start to see some of the chatters developing on the course, but Ella maintaining a high line. It's a Granite Peak racer. Goes to the finish. Caroline Christoph Brown up on the top part of the course. Timon through into 12th with a 51.98 on run number 2. Now here's one of the skiers that we talked about early on. She was 6th fastest after the first run. This is Caroline Christoph Brown from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club, but she had a late start on the first run. Out of the top 6, she had the worst start run number 1, so she's got the best start for run number 2. Can she take advantage? It's good technical skiing. One thing I will say when I watch Christoph Brown ski, she's been at Burke Mountain training a lot this winter and pressuring those edges like it's Eastern ice, and it's not Eastern ice here today. A little lighter touch. She'll fine-tune that as she goes. Now a Rocky athlete with the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. We're so excited to have her in these championships. And she is through the finish. Oh, and down goes Brislin. Christoph Brown into the lead, 48.26 the time. 135.02. Christoph Brown just sneaks ahead of teammate Riley Thompson for the lead. Claire Yeager now on course. Claire from Team Afton. After Brislin goes down, we watch Claire Yeager. She gets pushed low coming onto the beach section. That transition has been giving the athletes some challenge, especially as the course is starting to get a little bit beat up. But Yeager looking nice down here on the lower part of the course. There Yeager from Team Afton. Looking to put it through the finish, and she's across. Madeline Zelmer, her teammate, on the upper part of the course. Zelmer skiing her way through the flats. Yeager into 13th, 51.98 her time on the second run. It's Madeline Zelmer from Team Afton. Makes some nice turns down the steep part of the all-out race slope. Getting into her tuck, coming out of the delay. The attitude is fantastic for Zelmer. Madeline making her way to the finish. And she's across as Kaya Ryder from Team Summit makes her way onto the beach. Zelmer had a 14th fastest run on run number 2, 51.84 the time. Here comes Kaya Ryder into view, the Team Summit racer. 23rd in run number 1. See if she can pick up a few spots, but she gets pushed low. That section, the camera does not do it justice. It is steep right there. Now it flattens out just a bit. She's got to let those skis run, be soft on the edges. Kaya Ryder to the finish. And Claire Preventure going down. Not a good afternoon for the Preventures. And Claire was one of our contenders. Claire held the 4th spot after run number 1, but she is out for run number 2. Now Katie Miller will take her turn. Katie, another Buck Hill ski team competitor. Good turns off the top pitch for Miller. Now she gets in the tuck for the flats. Comes out just a little bit to keep clean. Miller over the breakover in front of the coaches. Now looking to set up these gates. These are the important gates, the steep part of the hill. Trying to maintain a high line. She loses her ski just a little bit, but keeps her balance well. Getting pushed low in the delay, but Katie Miller still on course. Looking to carry the speed into the finish. Katie Miller in her tuck across the line. And Margot Schaffler from Grand Traverse makes her way onto the beach. It's going to be a time for Miller of 51.49. That's 15th fastest in the second run. She went out on that first run, so good to get a finish for Miller going into the slaloms. Margot Schaffler now on course. Margot from the Grand Traverse Ski Club. Doing a nice job. Skiing really well in this lower section. Got a little inside there, but managed to stay up. Oh, no! Margot Schaffler going down. Tough fall for Margot as Lily Foss makes her way down from the upper section. Tough fall for Margot. Tough break there for Schaffler. Skiing so well into that spot. Lily Foss did get waved through and found a finish line. 15th fastest on run number 2 with a 51.21. Puts her into 9th position at the moment. So we've got to hold on the course and await the run for Audrey Basio. Big crash for Schaffler. We hear that she is back up on her feet and walking around. Let's see what happened here with Margot. Just get those skis caught out on the outside and tracked. Big time fall. So glad that she's back on her feet. And out of the way because that was a tough crash. But again, Margot, the report is she has got her skis back on and headed back down to the bottom. That is super good news. We hope to see Margot in the slalom. That is one of the things about ski racing, folks. This is a championship level event, and Margot was skiing at championship level intensity, taking all the risks possible. Sometimes it results in glory. Sometimes it results in a crash like you just saw there. Audrey Bosio now from Nub's Knob on course. Bosio through the beach section. Good solid skiing for Bosio on the upper part. She makes her way onto the lower pitch. Oh, and off course for Bosio. Allison Mihalik now on course from 4 degrees. Skiing well on the upper section is Mihalik. 19th in the first run. See if she can make a move here on run number 2. There's been some attrition here on the second run. A little bit more swing to the turns, a little bit more technically challenging the second run course set. But Mihalik has handled it well. She's in her tuck and across the finish. Sophia Wenberg from Buck Hill now on course. Mihalik into 9th, her time on run number 251.22. Wenberg 17th fastest in that first run. She's looking to do something special, get into the top 10, getting a little rotated there, but keeping the skis moving. She's charging. Sophia Wenberg has a nice touch on her skis. I like her balance as Wenberg, active, dynamic skiing, approaching the finish. Mia Lapuner on the upper section. Mia Lapuner onto the beach section now. Wenberg into the finish in 6th place. Her second run time 50.01. Lapuner 21st in run number 1. She's looking to make a few steps up on run number 2. The Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club athlete getting pushed low in that steep section there. Lapuner didn't panic too much, but definitely lost a little bit of time with that low line. She had to fight back up the hill to get back on track. Lapuner getting bounced around a little bit. Perhaps the course getting a little bit rougher as Lapuner crosses the finish. Bryn Stein now on course. Lapuner through with a 51.89, puts her into 13th at the moment as we watch the run of Bryn Stein. Bryn, oh no, couldn't tell what happened there, but Bryn is out. Bryn was in the top 10 after run number 1. But here's one to watch, Isabel Eriksson. Our Super G champion. On Eriksson, a massive mistake on the flats. Oh no. Right where you cannot regain that momentum. Isabel Eriksson. Approaching the finish. Our next racer, Anna Jarmaz from Aspen, now through the beach section. And Isabel finishing into 3rd spot, 50.32 as Jarmaz approaches the finish. Aspen racers into her tuck. Nice final few turns for Anna. Maya Hargraves on the upper part of the course. Our timing view has gotten a little bit delayed, so I'll relay results as I get them. We'll watch some good skiing here. Maya Hargreaves getting pushed a little bit low. She's really trying to let him run. Jarmaz moves into 6th position. It's Hargreaves. Oh no! Right before the finish. Got her ski caught, not sure. Couldn't tell if she made it around that last cape. Focus all the way through the finish. That's what we talk about with the athletes. Sometimes they get down to their tuck, and she just got caught in a little bit of soft snow as Emma Munoz from Aspen now makes her way down. Jarmaz tied for 6th. Hargreaves finished into 21st with a 52.73 on that run. Emma Munoz now approaching the finish. Emma 16th fastest after the first run. It's Corrine Rubin from Copper Country, Ironwood, Michigan. Makes her way down. Emma Munoz into 9th with a 50.32 on run number 2. Corrine Rubin now. Sorry, Corine's out of Houghton, Michigan. Up there at Mount Ripley is Copper Country. Through the finish. Corrine. Sydney Shuttler from Team Summit now on course. Corrine with a time of 51.80. Moves her into 22nd with 18 racers to go. Sydney Shuttler from Team Summit now on course. Shuttler into her tuck and across. Oh, and Chloe Kafka throws a shoe. And will be a DNF up high for Kafka. Tough break for Chloe. She was 11th, looking to bump up a spot, get into that top 10. Just walked right out of the ski. Sydney Shuttler did finish. She had a time of 51.49, moves her into 17th position at the moment. As Jessica Lynn from Granite Peak contemplates her run. Beautiful day for ski racing. Blue sky over the all-out race trail here on the lower part of Steamboat Resort. Sun creeping up just behind our start house at the top. It's early afternoon. Don't forget tomorrow, daylight savings, spring forward. It's going to be a little darker for our first run of slalom. Be bright and early in the morning tomorrow. Hope you'll be tuned in with us as Jessica Lynn pushes out of the start from Granite Peak. Lynn out of Eagle River, Wisconsin. Does cross country, track, and softball. Love to see all these multi-sport athletes here at these U16 championships. Jessica Lynn, just when I thought she was in trouble, she She stayed calm, kept over that outside ski, carved some nice turns, and staying right in the mix, Jessica Lynn into her tuck across the finish. And Christina Shamshurin now on course from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. Christina will be charging hard. She had a DNF in that first run. See if she can try to win the second is probably her goal. Lynn through the finish into 26th with a 53.19. Shamshurin, let's get Christina through the finish. Get some positive momentum going into the slaloms tomorrow. Such a talented skier from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. Christina tight on the poles down here, skiing aggressively. Christina Shamshurin across the finish as Brielle Walsh from Steamboat takes to the upper section of the course. Shamshurin, third fastest on run number 2, 48.65 the time for Christina. Brielle Walsh onto the lower pitch. Oh, and Brielle losing a ski, and down she goes. Seen this a little bit before, the athletes sliding, showing you how steep the hill is in that section. Went down before we could see what happened in there. Tough break for Brielle. Her teammate Ella Orton is in the start next. So you see Brielle ski away. She's just fine. If this were a training run, Ella probably would have been bringing her ski to her, but not for race day. Not as fired up as Ella is to lay down a fast run here on her home hill. The all-out race trail representing the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. She's a fearless racer. She pushes out of the start. Orton is on course. See those angles she creates right out of the start. Hard to generate speed, letting those skis get out, laying the ski over with a large edge angle. Gets in trouble is when she gets a little bit inside. To stay level over the outside ski is Orton now into her tuck through the final few turns. Orton from the Winter Sports Club across. She's into 12th with a 50.41 on that second run. Layla Bamber now on course from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. Looks fast on the top section for Layla. She was 7th fastest in run number 1. Can she continue to move up through the ranks? Challenge for these skiers is they ran pretty early on the first run when the course was cleaner, and now on the second run it's bumpier. Can they fight through that challenge and hold their position? Bamber through the finish, and Layla into 4th with a 50.14 on run number 2. Eloise Spranger on course. Eloise 5th fastest in that first run. She is in the hunt. Caroline Christoph Brown still holding on to the lead. We talked about the start positions earlier when she went, and she made it happen from that early start position. She's held the lead for a long time. Can Spranger bump her from that top spot? Spranger was 1 spot ahead after run number 1 in 5th. Spranger skis into 5th at the moment. Her second run time, 50.32. Wynn Gebhardt now on course. Win from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. Good strong turns. Win a strong skier. Ooh, running on the razor's edge. Getting her whole body inside of the skis so that she can create that edge angle. Just barely hanging on with the balance, but she's done it. Wynn Gebhard, nice job through the finish. As Aurora Hayek gets started, Wynn into 18th with a 51.60. Hayek now from Granite Peak. Skiing across the beach. It is still Caroline Christoph Brown in the lead. Her teammate Riley Thompson still holding on to second. Isabel Erickson slotted into third at the moment. We've got some fast ones still to go. Aurora Hayek on course right now from Granite Peak, giving it her best effort as she finds her tuck. About 3 gates to go. Lucy Fallhaber on course up above. Oh, and Fallhaber getting stuck to the inside and twisted around. Lucy goes out. Tough break for Lucy. Sophie Coxon getting ready to go next from the Great Lakes Ski Academy. Sophie out of Marquette, Michigan. She wants to thank her coaches, Wendy Moss, Christy Provost, Daniel DeLynn, and Steve Kuhl. Some long-time great coaches, former ski racers up there in Marquette. Represent that coaching staff for Sophie. And it shows in the skiing, these Great Lakes skiers all showing great skills. We'd like to thank our presenting sponsor for these U.S. Ski and Snowboard Rocky Central U16 Championships, David Baldinger Jr., Steamboat Sotheby's International Realty. They've been supporting the next generation of SSWC athletes and ski racers while proudly serving buyers and sellers in the Yampa Valley for over 20 years. David Baldinger, a former Rocky Central regional coach, is passionate about ski racing and a great supporter. So thank you to David Baldinger and Steamboat Sotheby's International Realty. We'd also like to thank our gold support partners here at the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. The City of Steamboat Springs, our home, Ski Town, USA, and home to Howelson Hill, the oldest continually operating ski area in North America. Unfortunately, Mother Nature ruled the day and we did not get to race at Howelson Hill this year. A lot of the athletes did get some slalom training over there. A little bit lower elevation and a different sun angle there wreaked havoc on the snow surface. We've got a great snow surface here on All Out, but unfortunately not able to race there at Howelson. We would like to thank as well our gold level support partner, Cloud9 Integrated Systems, Colorado Event Rentals, Conroy Moving and Storage, Native Excavating, Slifer Smith and Frampton, Smart Wool, Steamboat Radio, Steamboat Ski and Resort Corporation, as well as Steamboat Orthopedic and Spine Institute, Twin Enviro, Apex Waste Solutions, UC Health, and SBNY. A big thank you to our gold support partners at the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. We'd also like to thank some event sponsors for these championships: Sink, Corner Slice, Smart Wool, Swanee, and today the athletes all enjoying the Ohana Live print event. At the bottom, getting some custom printed t-shirts and hoodies from Ohana. A big thank you to all of those supporters. Last night we enjoyed a great night hosted by Steamboat Mountain School, a great parent mixer. Steamboat Mountain School, a boarding school here in Steamboat Springs, working closely with the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club to provide boarding school options that work around a ski racer's schedule. World-class academics and world-class skiing, empowering students to excel both on the mountain and in the classroom. So we continue to have a course hold as we await the run of Sophie Coxon. We hope to be underway with Sophie's run shortly.
At Steamboat Mountain School, elite athletes don't have to choose between the podium and the classroom. In partnership with Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club, our competitive ski and ride program pairs world-class coaching with a schedule designed for performance. Our unique mod schedule flexes around training and travel, so student athletes can push limits on the mountain and stay fully engaged in rigorous academics. This is a community that understands what it takes. Steamboat Mountain School, where driven students become extraordinary athletes and scholars.
A big thank you again to Steamboat Mountain School and also to our presenting sponsor, David Baldinger Jr. and Steamboat Sotheby's International Realty. We continue to be on hold. Sophie Coxon awaits her turn in the start. She'll be our next competitor on course. Be back in just a moment.
The Winter Sports Club is amazing. It is multi-sports, and it's the only club in the entire country that has as many winter sports as we're able to provide.
I feel like when you ask our kids about their life in Steamboat, their first thing they'll say is, we grew up in the Winter Sports Club.
It's sort of like a second family for me.
The Winter Sports Club, I think, was my upbringing.
I think Hallison and the Winter Sports Club is one of the best places in the world.
It was almost another parent to me. We spent every opportunity we had down at the Winter Sports Club and enjoyed every minute of it.
Coming here after school and being with your friends and your coaches, it's just an awesome experience.
Almost every huge lesson or experience or great moment that has changed them has happened through the Winter Sports Club.
You know, their notion of creating champions on and off the mountain really resonates with me, and I just think it's an incredible opportunity for the boys to be part of that.
Every coach that I've ever worked with, you know, here at Winter Sports Club or see coaches on hill with these kids, from skiing to cross country to jumping to snowboarding coaches, every single one of them brings a large amount of passion and dedication to this sport.
And the culture that they become a part of, again, changes them. And whether or not they're winning or whether or not they want to be an Olympian, they can be the best version of themselves.
We're so fortunate in this town to have so many amazing people help raise these kids.
There's something to be said about growing up in a competitive environment and having the mentors that the SSWSC provided. And you know, I certainly don't think that I would have grown up to be the person that I am today without their influence on my life.
It's so unique and so special, and having seen great places in the world, there's nothing like this.
Really, the Winter Sports Club is appropriate for all kids. Every single kid can benefit from the Winter Sports Club.
All right, we're ready to get back up and running.
Let's get things lined up again.
Our racers are getting lined back up. We put some slips on the hill for Sophie as she gets ready to go. We've got 7 racers left. Our leaders right now down there at the bottom. Caroline Christoph Brown currently in that top spot from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. Her teammate Riley Thompson just behind in second. Isabel Erickson from Aspen in third. Layla Bamber from Vale in fourth. And Eloise Spranger from Vale in fifth at the moment. But our top 2 skiers from the first run are still to come as we do our second run in reverse. It's going to be exciting to the finish. Our leaders had a pretty good cushion, but they also started right at the front of the field. This time they have to start at the very end as the course is a little bit rougher and tougher. We'll see how they manage. It's going to be exciting down to the wire. Sophie Coxon getting ready to go. She'll get her turn, I think, on our next start interval. She looks fired up and ready. Tough after that long hold to keep your energy up, your focus high. But Coxon is on, and she looks ready for it. A little bobble there, but does a nice job to keep everything moving down the hill, maintain her momentum. Maintaining momentum onto this section, onto the flats, very important. Coxon has done it well, letting the skis run. Sophie Coxon from the Great Lakes Ski Academy now onto the lower pitch, getting sideways right as you pass the coaches at Coach's Knoll. But these turns here, the money turns, the steepest part of the hill. Sophie is hanging on, keeping it together. Sophie Coxon to the finish. She's across. Caroline Brownson makes her way across the flats. Coxon through into 17th with a 52.08 on her second run. Caroline Brownson now on course out of Team Summit. Caroline in 12th after run number 1. She'd like something special here. Bump it into the top 10 for Caroline. We've got a string of Team Summit racers now. Brownson through the finish, and Popkova on the upper part of the course. Aliska approaching the beach section for Brownson into 13th. 51.66 the time on run number 2. Popkova passing the coaches onto the lower pitch. Popkova, direct line, very tight above the gates. Popkova approaching the finish. As Malie Dieterich takes the course up top. Dieterich, our first run leader. This is going to be a big test for our leader in the finish, Caroline Christoph Brown. Through the finish was Popkova with a 52.49. But now it's Dieterich's turn. 3 Team Summit racers in a row. With Leffel to follow a 4th. Here comes Dieterich. Course is rougher. Is Dieterich up to the task? Into her tuck. A good solid run. No mistakes as she makes her way to the line. And it's going to be enough. Malie Dieterich moves into the lead. 48.04 on run number 2. Puts her with a commanding lead on the top of the standings. 2-run combined time, 132.65. A huge result for the Team Summit racer. Now Lauren Leffel will take her turn. Leffel pushing out of the start. She matched the pace of her teammate. Leffel, 8th place after run number 1. wants to keep it in that top 10. Good skiing for Leffel up on the upper section. It looks smooth, it looks strong. Lauren Leffel linking her turns nicely, getting pushed a little bit wide there, but back on track now. Can she stay clean to the finish, let the skis run, and find a spot into that top 10? Lauren Leffel definitely charging hard, giving it all she's got. Lauren Leffel across the finish, and she's got a time of 50.35, which moves Leffel into 7th position. Well done for Lauren. Many of the skiers that were up there near the front after the first run have been slipping back. Leffel moving forward a spot into 7th at the moment. Now it's Piltingsrud's turn. Saskia from the Buck Hill ski team. And Saskia on course. Her first race is here in the Rocky Central U16 Championships. Going to the tuck early onto the beach section, the flat middle part of this all-out race trail. Racers getting a taste of an NCAA championship giant slalom hill. The event was hosted here 2 years ago. It's been hosted on this hill 3 times in the last decade. So a strong test for these 14 and 15-year-old students. Most of them in high school, a few still in middle school, as Piltingsrud crosses the finish. Piltingsrud with a time of 52.43 moves her into 28th position. Winter Phillips now at the start. She'll be our final competitor of this giant slalom. Second fastest in the first run, where she had a clean course. Now, run number 2. She follows all 56 of her competitors, takes a panel out with her arm, does a great job to maintain her balance and not go down. But what does that do to the nerves? Right up at the very top. Putting that hand through the panel. Thank goodness it came off, which is what we want to see as Phillips now onto the lower pitch. She's charging for sure. She'd love to not just hold her position, but move up a spot if she could. Winter Phillips from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. 4 gates to go. Winter Phillips for the giant slalom. Dieterich in the finish as our leader. Phillips across the finish, and she moves into 3rd place. 49.74 on the second run. Christoph Brown will hold on to 2nd. And Phillips bumps Riley Thompson into the 4th spot. As that wraps up run number 1. That wraps up our giant slalom race for the women. Race number 1. We've got the men still to go.
Yep, that was my disqualification too. And Lisa, did you have any in your section?
So unofficially, Isabel Erickson in 5th. Riley Thompson in 4th. Winter Phillips skis into 3rd. Caroline Christoph Brown making the big move on the 2nd run and taking 2nd. And Malie Dieterich, a strong performance, takes the victory by nearly 2.5 seconds. So that wraps up the women's race. We're going to get underway with the men as soon as we can. Probably about 10 minutes we'll be underway with the men's 2nd run.
The Winter Sports Club is amazing. It is multi-sports, and it's the only club in the entire country that has as many winter sports as we're able to provide.
I feel like when you ask our kids about their life in Steamboat, their first thing they'll say is, we grew up in the Winter Sports Club.
It's sort of like a second family for me.
The Winter Sports Club, I think, was my upbringing.
I think Halcyon and the Winter Sports Club is one of the best places in the world.
It was almost another parent to me. We spent every opportunity we had down at the Winter Sports Club and enjoyed every minute of it.
Coming here after school and being with your friends and your coaches, it's just an awesome experience.
Almost every huge lesson or experience or great moment that has changed them has happened through the Winter Sports Club.
You know, their notion of creating champions on and off the mountain really resonates with me, and I just think it's an incredible opportunity for the boys to be part of that.
Every coach that I've ever worked with, you know, here at Winter Sports Club or see coaches on hill with these kids, from skiing to cross country to jumping to snowboarding coaches, every single one of them brings a large amount of passion and dedication to this sport.
And the culture that they become a part of, again, changes them. And whether or not they're winning or whether or not they want to be an Olympian, they can be the best version of themselves.
We're so fortunate in this town to have so many amazing people help raise these kids.
There's something to be said about growing up in a competitive environment and having the mentors that the SSWSC provided. And you know, I certainly don't think that I would have grown up to be the person that I am today without their influence on my life.
It's so unique and so special, and having seen great places in the world, there's nothing like this.
Really, the Winter Sports Club is appropriate for all kids. Every single kid can benefit from the Winter Sports Club.
Well, we're getting forerunners ready for run number 2 for the men at the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Rocky Central U16 Championships Giant Slalom, presented by David Baldinger Jr., Steamboat Sotheby's International Realty. The women's race was fantastic, and Malie Dieterich, who's been on a roll, taking the downhill victory. Skiing fast in the Super G before she lost a ski not far from the bottom. But today, she has reclaimed the title with a victory in the Giant Slalom. Caroline Christoph Brown finishing just behind her in second and finishing in third place. For the women, Winter Phillips, 30 seconds out from our first forerunner. Get the track tested here. The men's race is going to be a similar story. All of our leaders came from early in the first run. Those early start positions. Second run, they run in reverse order. The skiers that got a good, clean course in the first run will be dealing with a bumpy course here in the second run. One thing that's unique about the all-out race trail, unlike most race hills, at least in Colorado, that the shadows come into play in the afternoon run, adding to the difficulty. This all-out race trail, it faces west, so visibility will be pristine and perfect for the racers throughout the entire field. And it's a gorgeous sunny day here in Steamboat Springs, a Chamber of Commerce day after some new snow. Good conditions for racing. So that's good news for those racers that are in good position from the first run. Brexton Hopke holding the top spot. He was the first out of the gate, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does, because Balti Sachs is just on his heels. So our forerunners continue to work the course. We had some separation. For the women, with Dieterich holding a 3/4 of a second lead after first run. Hopke only a 1/10 of a second to play with. Alexander Campion in third after run number 1. Owen Applequist and Felix Hadley, 2 Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racers just behind that. And it's their home hill, so anything could happen here on the second run, and Jackson Tankersley is ready to kick it off and make some magic happen. Tankersley races for Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. And Jackson Tankersley is on course. We're underway. Run number 2 for this U.S. Ski and Snowboard U16 Championship Giant Slalom. Oh, Tankersley getting low and pushed late there onto the flats. That's killed his speed a little bit, but he's fighting hard. Tankersley, one of the smaller racers in this field. And so momentum at such a premium for him. A good skier. Getting thrown around a little bit. It's an exciting run for Tankersley. Getting things underway. He's across the finish. Ryder Roth now on course behind him. Ryder from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club also getting pushed low in that spot, and down goes Roth. That's going to be a tricky section. That side of the hill we talked about on the women's course on the far lookers left for you. How steep that was on this course. At the bottom of this first pitch, there on the far left side is their steepest point and most difficult point. It falls away to the left. And that is going to be a tricky section that we're going to watch is Bryce Monty. Right here, this left footer sucks you low and it's tight the way it's set. Bryce just sneaking through. That's going to be tough. And the thing about a mistake in that spot, it stays with you across the entire flats. We're going to see some changes in position on this second run because of that delay. That I assure you. Bryce Monty now onto the lower section from Team Summit. Arias Somé just leaving the start up top through the finish. Bryce Monty into second, 48.24 the time on his second run. Tankersley 47.11 has set the pace. Somé 19th fastest on the first run, but with this start position, he could punch into the top 10 with a good run here. That was the formula for a lot of the women when we saw that race. Looks like he's doing a good job. Somé into his tuck across the finish. As Cole Peltz takes to the course up top. Somé into the lead, 46.19 is time, and we got a new leader. Peltz is down. Cole Peltz. He was in 11th after the first run, was really looking to make a move. Good to see him up on his feet and off course.
Yep, it didn't come through the first time you said it. Can't have him putting in the net. Just hang tight, he's up.
So Mason Katzfuss, our next racer from Osblick.
Correct, 4-4, out.
Mason out of Heartland, Wisconsin.
That copies, 4-3, next interval.
Mason says his skiing hero is his dad because he's always supported him. He wants to give a shout out to both his parents and his coaches, J.J. Hausman, Ben Bickler, and Jim Young, as Mason now the pride of Heartland, Wisconsin. And he hits trouble in that same spot. Certainly is going to be the most challenging part of this course. We'll see if Soren Shepard got the memo. This guy's full attack mode all the time. Does he have the tactical strategy for the transition from the bottom of this first pitch onto the beach section, the flat middle part of the race hill? Skiing well up top. Little chicane in there now. He's got to have the right tempo, and it's quick in here. Good job for Soren. Barely getting through, but that's the idea. You can overset it up too. Sometimes that'll happen. The coaches talk about it. You hear it all about it on the radio, and you overdo it, and that's slow as well. I think Soren found the sweet spot. This is a good looking run for the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racer. Oh, but Soren with the mistake down below. Losing all kinds of time. Soren was hoping for the win on that run. He went out on the first run, so all he was looking for was the fastest second run as a goal. Unfortunately, could not achieve it with that mistake. Soren Shepard across with a 48.68. Liam Burns from Team Afton on course. Liam through the tricky part. These guys watching each other up on the top section so they can see what's going on down there. Burns skiing well down on the lower section now. Oliver Nast, he fought hard through that section. Liam Burns into fourth, 47.78 his time on the second run. As the Aspen skier makes his way onto the lower pitch. Nass 26th after the first run. He's found himself in the top 10, but again, this guy is not respecting the turn enough. Down on the lower part of the course. So it seems there are two sections after the two delays that are critical for these athletes on this second run course. It's a thinker. Finn Mulligan from Team Afton now. Oliver Nass skied into fifth with a 48.77. Here comes Finn Mulligan from Team Afton on the lower section. He's got good shape above the gate. You can keep these tactics going, have the patience there. Well done, Finn. Looks like glad to get that slip crew that section as well. Finn Mulligan now into his tuck and through the finish. It's Owen Black from Osblick. Getting a little bit inside, but manages to stay on his feet through that section. Finn Mulligan into sixth with a 49.17. Owen searching for speed across the flats. Here he comes onto the lower pitch. The Osblick racer. You see him looking ahead down the hill, looking for his line where he's going to lay that ski over and apply the pressure. The skier's trying to apply pressure high on the turn, and down goes Black.
Start confirmed. 37 on, 36 in the gate.
So William Mortel from Team Gilboa is on course. DNF for Black. Mortel making his way through. William Mortel from Team Gilboa. He was a DNF in the first run. Would love to get a finish here. Get some positive vibes going before the slalom. You can get some really good slalom training in at Highland Hills. A little bit tougher on the GS side. Got to be creative. We will wait the next run here for Cody Martzfej. Mortel through the finish with a 50.17.
36 on.
Cody on course from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale. 28th after the first run. See what Cody can do here on the second. No problems through that tricky part in the transition from steep to flat. Onto the lower section, Cody skiing strong. It's a nice looking run. Everything in rhythm. His tempo is flawless. Oh, and he gets low coming out of that delay. There are tricks aplenty on this course. And you've got to keep your focus all the way to the finish line. Cody skiing so well. But he goes out now. Shen Harmon's turn. Let's see if Shen can decipher this tricky second run set. Shen 35th after the first run, but there's been some attrition here in run number 2. That's well done through that delay. I think nobody's coming out of there without being a little bit low. Shen kept his speed pretty well, and across the line he goes as Iker Koig attacks the top part of the course. Shen Harmon through the finish, skiing into 5th. The time of 47.80 on run number 2. This is Iker Koig from Team Summit. Iker coming into view on the lower section now. Good strong turns. Let's see if he got the word on this. Set it up. Stand strong. There you go, Iker. That's how you ski it. No problem when you handle it that way. Iker Koig from Team Summit doing a nice job. And across the line goes Iker into second position with a 47.43. Ronan Curran from the Aspen Valley Ski and Snowboard Club on the course right now. Strong skiing tight to the gates. See the spray of snow against the red fence and the blue sky behind. It's an all-American day. Ronan Curran from Aspen getting a little bit hung up there on that turn, losing some speed, but he's got it back now, approaching the finish. Ronan Curran from the Aspen Valley Ski and Snowboard Club across into seventh with a 48.16. Here comes Roman Zedvornik from Team Summit. Zedvornik was 10th fastest in that first run. He's a guy that could make a move, getting a relatively early start here in run number 2 while the course is cleaner. He was attacking so hard in that first run. You see the attack here again on run 2. Looking for the bully in between those turns. Unbelievable from Zedvornik. And he set up it really well coming out of that delay. Brilliant tactics for Roman Zedvornik as he approaches the finish. Zedvornik, a strong run, and it puts him into the top spot. Roman Zedvornik into first place with a time of 46.77 on run number 2. He sneaks ahead of Mario Somé. Now it's Kevin Kubit, another racer who attacks like crazy. Kubit from the SWAT team. Look at the turns down here, tight to those gates. Kubit skiing like a madman on the lower section. The Southeastern Wisconsin Alpine Team racer having a strong run. Kubit goes to the line, and Kubit's got a time. Put him in good shape, 6th at the moment for Kubit, 47.94 on his second run. This is Luke Myonger from Team Afton. Luke 13th after the first run. Another guy with a good run here that could bump himself into the top 10. Nice technique. Pressure above the gate. Good high turns. Little different tactics from Myonger than we saw from those other skiers, and he gets bounced low. That's so unfortunate because he had it set up so well. But the bumpiness of the course, it just ate him up, and Myonger will be disappointed because he had such a good run going. Everett Levander on course up above. Myonger still into 5th with that mistake, 48.80 on his second run. Oh, what could have been. The slip crew cleaning it up before Levander comes down. Here's Everett from Team Afton. 33rd after the first run. Good solid skiing for Levander as he drops into his tuck. To the finish he goes. Charlie Haskins from Eldora on course behind. These guys have gotten the word. They figured it out up on the upper section now. Still have to stay clean down low. Levander into 12th with a 49.01. Charlie Haskins, the lone racer from the Eldora Mountain Ski and Snowboard Club. He popped a fast one in there in the downhill. Doing his best to stay on track. Haskins, a strong skier. To the finish he goes. Griffin Green Machine Wickstrom now on course. Haskins through the finish into 5th. His time, 48.01 on the second run. That's the 8th fastest for run 2. So Griffin Green Machine Wickstrom now on the lower part of the course. Yes, these Team Summit athletes have figured out how to ski through that delay and set up that next section. Coach is getting a good course report up to him. And through the finish, Griffin Green Machine Wickstrom will cross into ninth with a 48.24. Here comes Jonathan Nichols from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. He was really throwing the hammer down on that first run and skied himself into 8th place. And look at the charge here on run number 2. Jonathan Nichols has got it going here today on his home training hill, the all-out race slope at Steamboat Resort. Nichols looking strong, aggressive, but in control of what he's doing. He's got a plan and he's sticking to it, but getting pushed low. What a recovery to stay on line. That was athletic. That was skillful. Jonathan Nichols approaching the finish. And Nichols will cross as Van Doms from the SWAT team skis on the upper course. Nichols into 3rd position, 47.56 the time. Well done for the Steamboat racer. Van Doms, member of the SWAT team. Over the breakover he goes. Does his training at Alpine Valley, southeast Wisconsin. Right in the middle of the Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago triangle. SWAT team drawing a lot of athletes. Got a lot of population to draw from. He skied a good run. Mark Dry now on course. Mark onto the beach section. Van with a time of 50.89 moves him into 17th position. Onto the lower pitch comes Mark. He was 9th after the first run. Double pole plants in the transition for Mark. That helps him recenter and stay balanced. Little bit of old school. I like it. It's appropriate for how the course is set down there, and he had no problem coming out of that delay through that section. Mark Dry. Down goes Kim right away on the upper part. Into the B-net he goes. A trip to the red room. Charlie Kim just getting inside, and that is a tough break for Charlie Kim. Meanwhile, Mark Dry through the finish into 2nd position. He put down a 47.06 on that second run, which is 3rd fastest for the second run. Moves him into 2nd overall. So we've got Roman Zidvornik in the lead. A 1/4 second behind is Mark Dry. And in 3rd, Marius Somé. Jonathan Nichols holding on to 4th. Iker Koig sitting in 5th at the moment.
2-2. Next interval.
But Nicholas Whitener now on course. We're getting ready to go on course. As we work in reverse order, we're more than halfway through the field here on run number 2.
Lisa, do you have anybody, Sean, do you have anybody there that can slip down and put a gate in? It looks like the base is popping out of the blue gate just below you, two gates below you.
So it's going to be an exciting second half.
Someone on it. Someone,
22 on the next interval, 35 seconds.
It's going to be real exciting to see how this thing plays out to the finish. Marius Somé had the fastest second run. That helped move him up into the 3rd position at the moment. Roman Zidvornik, 2nd fastest run, number 2, but the 2 runs combined puts him in the lead. It's Whitener from Nubs Knob. Excited for his turn. He goes by Cole. So Cole Whitener putting his poles over the start wand. Pushing off the launch pads, and here comes Cole Whitener charging out of the start for the first few gates. A great start for the Nubs Knob racer as he attacks the bottom part of the pitch into his tuck early. Cole Whitener not giving this thing any respect. Pedal to the metal. As he comes onto the lower pitch, I love that view with the blue sky behind. The Petoskey, Michigan skier steering his way through that delay. Keeps it going on course. Cole Whitener in his tuck. Across the line for Cole is Jack Plummer from the Grand Traverse Ski Club. We'll follow him down. Whitener into 16th with a time of 49:14 on run number 2. Jack Plummer from the Grand Traverse Ski Club, he was 23rd after run number 1. Skis at Hickory Hills. Jack Plummer in his tuck. The Traverse City, Michigan racer through the finish. He's got a time of Plummer with a time of 49.28. Puts him into 17th position. Ivor Eisenman now on course from the SWAT team. Good skiing from Eisenman through those final few turns. Well done. Adam Everson now. Everson off the pitch onto the flats as we do a little bit of gate repair up there. Eisenman through in the 21st fastest position for run number 2. He was a DNF in that first run, but second run he put down a 49.73, respectable for Ivor Eisenman. Here comes Adam Everson from Team Z. Mount Zion is home hill, small little hill. It's outside of Ironwood, Michigan. And Reef Sampson behind him from Team Afton makes his way onto the middle flats. Everson through the finish with a 49.54. 21st fastest on that second run. Reef Sampson peeled off an arm guard partway down, so he's going to try to keep his distance on those red gates in there. It'll be the blue side where he doesn't have that extra padding, and he can't help himself. Keeps going in and hitting those gates. He's going to have sore arms tomorrow, but that's okay. These guys are tough. Reef, one of the toughest out there. He's through the finish. Is Owen Applequist from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club takes his turn. Big opportunity for Applequist. He was 4th in that first run. Kind of one of the later runners of the lead pack. Can he do something special? Sampson into 20th with a 50-50, but Applequist now. Can he punch one into the podium positions? It's got to be strong and precise. It's good and precise in there. Is he letting those skis run? The clock will soon tell. Owen Applequist is going to put it through the finish from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. And Applequist across the line. He's got a time into 4th position. 47.72 the time on his second run. Logan Brown now on course from the Pinnacle Race team. Brown 36th after that first run. Getting some good GS laps. Look for Brown in the slalom tomorrow. Oh, that ski drifting out low, and Logan is not going to pull it off. DNF for Logan. So our next racer, Jacob Humbert, is on course. He's out of Team Afton. He's on to the middle flats, and he's out. It's been a while, but it was bound to happen at some point. That section is still tough. Humbert going in a little too direct. He's off course. Asa Sheppy now on course, or getting ready to go on course. The Team Gilboa racer has his pulls over the start wand. And he's pushing out of the start. Asa Sheppy on course. Asa out of Edina, Minnesota. Amazing tradition of great skiers out of the Twin Cities. Asa Sheppy now onto the lower pitch. Asa was 37th after run number 1. See him working hard to keep his shoulders level, keep his weight over the outside ski so that the skis can track cleanly through the snow and not break. And Asa Sheppy through the finish as Jeffrey Lindsay makes his way onto the flat middle section. Sheppy into 21st with a time of 49.92 is Jeffrey Lindsay from the Pinnacle Race Team. Passes the coaches and onto the lower pitch here of the all-out race trail. Lindsay 32nd after run number 1. A top 25 result would get him in the top half of the field. Here comes Lindsay approaching the finish. Lindsay, a nice tight low bully into the finish line. Oh, and out goes Meller up top. So Meller's a DNF. Lindsay was through the finish into 20th position, 49.46. A good run for Lindsay. As Braxton Bojack gets ready to go up top, he claps his poles over the start wand, slaps the skis on the snow. Braxton Bojack from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale is on course. Bojack 6th after run number 1. All eyes on Bojack as he navigated through the first tricky part of the course, the transition from steep to flat. Now it's the transition from flat back to steep. Bojack skiing well. The trouble lurks below this upcoming delay. The bumps in the initiation of that turn coming out challenged the racers, but Bojack's had no problem. Bojack into his tuck, looked like a good solid run. Bojack reaches across the line into 6th position for Bojack with a 48.09 on run number 2. Alexander Campion now on course. Campion 3rd after the first run. Look at the direct line on the flats. Campion going as straight as possible. Shortest line to the finish is the way Campion's looking to win. But a little mistake there before the pitch. That'll cost him. These racers so tightly packed, there's no room for error. Campion again getting pushed low coming out of that delay. He knows he's got to do something special down here before the finish. Alexander Campion reaching for the tuck, reaching for the line, and Campion will cross with a time of 47.85, moves Campion into 3rd. Colin Canada now, another Team Summit racer on the upper section of the course. Canada 18th after the first run. See if Canada can make a move. Team Summit racers have been doing well on this lower section for the most part. Canada sets that up nicely coming out of the delay. Now you got to let him run. Colin, he's doing just that. Into his tuck early. Colin Canada drive into the finish. And Canada will cross as Reed Pope starts. Reed Pope on the lower part of the pitch, onto the flats goes Reed. Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racer. Canada through the finish into the top 10. Canada sitting in 8th. His time 47.446, fastest in run number 2. That's doing some pretty good work from that start position, Colin. Here comes Reed Pope from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club onto the lower pitch. Reed Pope, this is a good looking run. Reed reaches across the line. Pope finishes into the top 10. The 10th place for right now for Reed, 48.15 the time for the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racer. Ian DeCanio on course right now. Ian from Team Summit. He was 12th after run number 1. If he could just pick up a couple spots, he's in the medals here. Here comes Ian DeCanio on the lower section now. The bright green shin guards, or arm guards cutting through the sunshine, and oh no! Ian had a good run going, but lost it right there at the end. Carter Houseman now on course. Houseman from Osblick. Oh, DeCanio's disgusted with himself down there. Sitting on his poles, shaking his head. But here comes Houseman, Carter Houseman from Osblick. Houseman skiing just fine. The Osblick racer was 7th fastest after the first run.
Start. Bid 5, wheel at start. Bid 4, in the gate. Bid 3. Copy that.
All right, we've got Balti Sachs now on course. Houseman through the finish into 8:48.08, his time on run number 2. So Balti from Ski and Snowboard Club Vale looking down on the course, making his plan. Can he make something special happen here on run number 2? He is right in the thick of it. It sounds like we've got a bit of a course hold. Balti out of Vail, Colorado. His coaches Ian Dunlop and Johnny Kemp. Wants to thank his sponsors, who are his parents, and Rosignol. Got a fast one on there. That's Balti Sachs. It's ready to go. Right now it's Roman Zidvornik holding on to the lead down there in the finish. Roman was back in 10th after run number 1. Balti has a pretty good cushion on Roman based on first run time. But the course is a little bit rougher now. Balti had a clean track in that first run. Let's see what he can do on run number 2. Balti's on course. Let's take it all the way down. Jetted off the tails there a little bit, but he handles that initial difficult section well. Racers have figured that part out. Balti is smooth as he makes his way across the beach onto the lower pitch. He's got to stay clean, but he's got to stay aggressive as well. No problems coming out of that delay. Are those skis running down the hill, though? So he got the momentum. Balti Sachs through the finish. And he's into first place. Balti Sachs by 0.2 of a second. Lake Skidda gets ready to go up top. 0.19 of a second, the margin. So Zidvornik made up over a second on that second run, but not quite enough to overtake Balti Sachs. Sachs into the lead as Lake Skidda. Great Lakes Ski Academy. Got 3 racers to go. Lake onto the beach. Strong skiing for Lake through the flats. Nice turns for Lake. Getting pushed a little bit wide on the delay. But now he goes for the tuck. Onto the lower section, Lake Skidda across. And Lake into 14th, his second run time 48.13. Felix Hadley getting ready to go next. He's from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. Just 2 racers left. Balti Sachs, Roman Zadvornik, and Mark Dre occupy the top 3 spots, respectively, on the podium. But we've got 2 fast ones left. Felix Hadley pushing out, and he's on course. Hadley, 5th fastest in the first run. Good, smart skiing from Hadley onto the flats. Now he's got to be nice and gentle on the edges through the flat section, not pressure too hard. Hadley skiing well. This is Home Hill, the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club racer. Would love to punch one in there for the giant slalom. Getting a little hung up in that rut, but keeps it going down the hill. Felix Hadley, he's going to reach to the line, and Felix will cross into 7th position, 47.90 the time. And now there's 1 remaining in the start. This is Brexton Hopke from the Buck Hill ski team, holding the lead after run number 1. He went out of the start first and kept the lead through the entire race, but his margin of victory in that first run over Balti Sachs, only 1/10 of a second. Now Balti sits at the finish with the lead, and Brexton's going to take him on. The top spot is going to Vale or to Buck Hill. This run's going to decide it right now. Hopke running the low line, coming off the pitch. The lowest line we've seen there. It didn't look like it slowed him down, though. I think he was just trying to keep that momentum. Brexton Hopke charging hard. You see him moving forward, but getting pushed low and late in this section. Balti was so cool, calm, and collected over his skis. Brexton getting pushed low. Balti was in perfect condition on the course. Brexton running the later line. It's going to be close. To the line he goes, and it's going to be Hopke into the lead. Brexton Hopke with the faster into the lead, 47.84. Brexton Hopke by 0.2 of a second. Your giant slalom champion, taking that victory from the very first run to the very last run. What a race for the Buck Hill skier. That's a wrap on today's Rocky Central U16 Championships Giant Slalom, presented by David Baldinger Jr., Steamboat Sotheby's International Realty. We're so glad that you were here to join us for our second run of racing. Sorry about the challenges with our video at the first part, but what an amazing race. These athletes really put on a show, and this will be one to remember. So if you're enjoying this ski racing, make sure you don't go anywhere tomorrow. Stay close to your computer, your phone, or your TV, and put it on YouTube for our slalom race here on the All Out Race Trail. Kicking off early, don't forget, daylight savings tonight. You're going to have to wake up an hour earlier to watch all the action here in Steamboat Springs. Signing off for today. We'll see everybody tomorrow for